Charles de Gaulle Airport, a sort of space-age place with people arriving via moving conveyor belts in long tubes, pulling out their blue American passports, irritated at being asked to submit to the ritual of identifying themselves. They know who they are. In fact, these are not generic Americans, but some of the actual people in my story. The cast of characters. My sister Roxy and I are the two young women who move away from the smoker. The tourists in the Ritz bar are our parents, Chester and Mariage Walker, newly arrived in Paris to support Roxy in her time of crisis. Her French husband has left her. She is about to give birth, and we have at stake a large sum of money. The man in the cafe removing butter from his toast is Ames Everett, one of my employers, but he might be any one of a number of American expatriates living in Paris, elegant and independent and detached, bearing some pentimento of past shame or failure like 5 o'clock shadow along the jaw. The stout woman is the venerated American writer Olivia Pace. The people arriving at the airport are our brother, Roger, his wife, Jane, another lawyer from his firm, and the other lawyer's wife. There are also certain ghosts of Hemingway and Gertrude Stein, Janet Flanner, Fitzgerald, Edith Wharton, James Baldwin, James Jones, all of them here for something they could not find back home, possessed of an idea about culture and their intellectual heritage, conscious of a connection to Europe. Europe, repository of something they wish to know, and feel they are entitled by ancestry to know. All of us are wearing the same expression every American wears here, of wonderment mixed with self-satisfaction at having cleverly removed ourselves from the quotidian discomforts and dangers of life in America, while at the same time bravely exposing ourselves to the exigencies of foreign money, a difficult language, and curious food. For instance, tripe or andouillette. Everyone respectful of Roxy's condition, and of her grief. Or disappointment might be a better word. Everyone respectful of her bravery in sustaining her great disappointment in life, a chagrin d'amour that lasts forever. Chapter 1. If we do not find anything pleasant, at least we shall find something new. Voltaire. I think of life as being like film because of what I learned at the film school at USC. Film, with its fitful changefulness, its arbitrary notions of coherence, contrasting with the static solemnity of painting, might also be a more appropriate medium for rendering what seems to be happening, and emblematic, too, perhaps, of our natures, Roxy's and mine, and the nature of the two societies, American and French. The New World and the Old, however, is too facile a juxtaposition, and I do not draw the conclusions I began with, if you can begin with conclusions, but I suppose we all do. I am, as I said, Isabel Walker, a young woman abroad, who, in several months in Paris, has learned enough to be considerably changed. And is this not, in fact, the purpose of young Americans going abroad? To make them think of things they never thought of? I should explain who I was. I had come to France planning to spend some months babysitting my pregnant sister Roxanne's 3-year-old, Geneviève, Jenny, reading books in French that I didn't expect to like much, had read a bit of Rabelais in school and thought it was disgusting with its talk of farts and twats, and under the cover of being a help to Roxy, hoping to get some of my rough California edges buffed off that the University of Southern California had failed to efface. Leaving college, I had not actually graduated, ordinarily points one to the future, whereas France was not the future. It was only temporizing and staving off the day I would have to make real decisions. When I dropped out of college, I became aware that the people in my world, usually so understanding and fond of me, had now a certain hardness of expression when asking me what I planned to do, as if they expected a serious and detailed answer. And my friends, as they awaited the results of their MCATs and LSATs, tended to avoid my eyes. "I'll be working on my screenplay," I would tell them, "and I'll be helping Roxy with her new baby, and I want to..."